Good morning. Happy, oh my gosh, it's Sunday. I just have to tell you that, because this is fascinating to me, 3 days ago, it was 85 degrees here. Today, it's snowing. I'm just sharing that because Harbor asked me if it was Christmas again, and Winnie is standing at the door trying to go outside and play in a sundress. We are so confused here by the weather. Good morning, good morning. As you pop on, tell me where you're at. Tell me where you're at. Tell me your weather. I know, I'm a weather nut. Hi, Missy. Missy, you're supposed to be getting a big snowstorm today. Oh my gosh, that just sounded so... Big snowstorm today, eh? Hi, Jessica. Hello, hello. Hi, Karen. Minnesota, you know my weather. Oh, it's terrible. Hello. Okay, so really good night's sleep. We're making some progress. Hi, I'm Kate, by the way, if you're new. We have 4 kids. We have Cooper, who is our autistic kiddo. This is him when he was angelic and I could hold him. Now he comes up to my shoulders and he wears the same size shoes as me. He is the reason that I share our secret world. I have Sawyer, who's 10. He had a sleepover last night and just informed us that they stayed up way too late, which I don't know how that happened because we thought we were on top of it. Kids are sneaky spies. And then we have Harbor, who's 4. He is next level this morning. I think someone put a quarter in him. I don't know how he wakes up with so much energy. He like levitates up. We've colored. We've built with blocks. We've read books. We've had popcorn. We've watched a movie. We've done all the things. And then Winnie, my baby. Does anyone have a combination of girls and boys as kids? I will tell you, all 3 of my boys were incredibly snuggly. Still are. My daughter, who's 1, she'll be 2 in May 25th. She's like, see ya. She is just not like the others. She's tough. And I don't know if that's the 4th child, if she's just more independent or what, but she's a whole mood. This motherhood thing, I swear it's a racket. In Texas, if you don't like the weather, we say, wait a few minutes, it will change. Yeah. Oh, Monique, you're the opposite of me. Yeah, Winnie's very different. She's really different than the boys. She very much, she's really good at playing, really good at acting older than she is. So she's 1, gonna be 2, but she does Play-Doh and colors and bakes and does everything that her 4-year-old sibling does. You would think that they're the same age. Like they're like besties. No girls are like that. Okay. I just didn't know if something was going on because I'm like, Winnie, do you want to come snuggle? And she's like, no. She's straight up like, no, it's a no for me. And I'm like, I seriously grab a hug as she runs by and smell her hair. I'm like, okay, bye. 4 girls, 1 boy. Oh my gosh. We think 4 kids is so many. So yesterday I gave a presentation it was amazing. It was one of my favorite I've ever done, to a group of folks in the medical profession. And I always do this joke where I'm like, yep, we have 4 kids. My husband say it's entirely too many. I'm not sure which one we get rid of if we could. And everyone laughs. And then I'm like, no, really, I don't know which one we would. Because they're all so wonderful. But good golly. Yep, Dana, I can definitely check my email. Anyone that's in or near Pittsburgh and wants to do a meetup with me, I'm going to be in Pittsburgh on Friday. I'm speaking at a conference on Saturday. And with my subscriber group, I always do meetups. So I just did one in North Carolina. Now I'm doing one in Pittsburgh. Next month is Florida. If you are in the autism world and want to meet us, we're going to meet up and go line dancing. It'll be so fun. Be brave. Come. So join my supporter group. I don't have a link, but click that blue Become a Supporter button. Okay, so I want to tell you about this comment that I got. And I keep thinking about it. And someone recently scolded me and said, "You only talk about the negative." I don't think that's true. I think that's someone projecting. But I do like to point out some of the wacky things that are said to me, because I think it's how we learn, how we do better. So my story, it's the whole thing's in here, right? But what most people didn't know is, and I speak about this when I do public speaking now, is for 4 years I was a caregiver in crisis. So I'm standing before you and I'm saying that for 4 years I got up every day, I put makeup on, I did my hair, I got my kids where they needed to go, I got to work, I reported to the CEO, I led the meetings, I had a smile on my face, and then I picked up a little boy who was entirely nonverbal, and we went home and we locked our doors. And there were 3 locks on every door because he spent all of his time trying to get out of the house. There were alarms, there were fences. He broke glass and he broke lights. And he hit and he couldn't communicate, and it wasn't his fault. It was not his fault. He couldn't communicate. And he had chronic ear infections. He was failed by healthcare. He had chronic stomach issues, all these things. And he was trapped inside of his own world. And we couldn't help him. And for 4 years, we had regression. We didn't get better. We stood still. Or we got worse. And I didn't share. Maybe a little teeny bit. The surface. I scratched the surface. But I kept it all inside. And whenever anyone said to me, "Are you okay?" I would say, "I'm fine. I'm great. I'm wonderful." And I shared beautiful photos on Facebook of picnics and a make-believe party in our backyard. And no one had any idea that I was dying. I was drowning. I was sinking. And I didn't share because I didn't think anyone wanted to know. And I didn't think anyone cared. And I didn't think anyone understood. And from this point forward, I am making it my mission to find the one mom out there who's watching this, who is a caregiver in crisis. And I do that by sharing my story and normalizing the hard and recognizing these really hard feelings, right? Like anger and sadness and jealousy and remorse, and feeling them, sitting down with them and getting really comfortable and saying, "I'm really angry that we can't do what every other family can do. And my heart is broken that I might never hear my son talk. And I am terrified of what's going to happen after I die." It is a terror that you cannot understand unless you live it. And I'm going to say these things, even if someone fire shots at me. I'm going to keep going, right? Yesterday, I had what looked like a grizzly old man. Let's call him Kenneth. Just a grizzly old man in his profile photo. Big beard. Looked a lot like the men that I grew up with. His grandpas and uncles and friends, right? And he said, "I like Cooper, but the mom and dad are awful," or something like that, whatever. It was hard to understand because there was not a lot of punctuation, which is fine. But I normally just hide or delete or any of that. And I was like, I want to dig into this one. I'm gonna open the can of worms. And I'm gonna ask, why does this, what looks like a grizzly old grandpa, hate me and my husband? Like, what are we doing wrong? And I wanted to know. So I wrote back really kindly and I said, immaturely, I hope, I said, so often in this world of social media, we can get caught up in our own stuff, right? And we start sharing the highlight reel. I'm guilty of it. Can you let me know, Kenneth, what I'm doing that's so awful? Because I really would like to know. When we know better, we do better. And yes, there was 10% of shade in there, but there was 90% of like, I really want to know. Hold on, I have a kiddo that's, I don't think we're in close. Hey, honey, can you go out? Yep, go upstairs and get dressed, okay? Oh, I'll be right up. Do you want to ride choo-choos? We're going to ride a train tomorrow. Okay, go on up. Sorry. So Lila, I really wasn't wasting my energy. I really wanted to know, and I really want to share this message with you guys. This is to the mom out there who's struggling. And I said, just let me know. What am I doing that's so terrible? And he came back with a super long response, and I was like, ugh, settle in here. And there was a lot of stuff in there to unpack, but he said, I'm an awful mom because I am saying that this is hard. And the one sentence that really stuck out to me is he said, if you were my daughter and spoke like this about my grandson, I would disown you. And I packed that up and made some space in my head and tucked it in there. And yesterday 2 days ago, my husband and I went to a 3-hour drive. We did a book signing, which I'll tell you, not many people came, and that was humbling. So if you want a signed copy of my book and you're in Duluth, head on over to Fickers and they will have signed copies. Go buy, please go buy those. And then we had dinner. It was wonderful. My son Sawyer got a gizmo. It's like a very low version of an Apple Watch, and he sent us like 50 messages and called 50 times, and he was like, I miss you so much, Mom. It was really quite sweet. Got up yesterday. I presented. Jody Pearson came. She did. Yesterday I presented to 100 people, and it was wonderful. It was why I do what I do. And drove home. I'm sick as a dog. And I let this guy's comment kind of roll around in my brain. If you were my daughter, I would disown you for saying what you said about your son. And I keep thinking, so here's my message to Kenneth's daughter. I am so sorry that you can't share any more than the perfect parts of parenting. I'm sorry that you are emotionally alone on this autism journey, because this is one of the hardest journeys that I have ever went on. The most amazing, the most rewarding, the most wonderful, the most isolating, the most confusing. You clearly have a parent that won't allow you to share. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that you're inside your house with locked doors and alarms on your windows. And when your dad asks you how you're doing, I bet you say, I'm fine. All the time. And I did not heal for so long. I did not heal. Again, if you see me present, you'll get the full hour-long story about this. But I kept myself perpetually busy. I didn't want to acknowledge that my son would need lifelong care. I didn't want to acknowledge that we would have to get a babysitter when he was 20 and 30. There were so many parts that I just couldn't acknowledge. I could hear it, but I couldn't truly acknowledge the really hard parts that are just real. They just are. to be able to share them, right? So, but I wasn't given a space where I could. I wasn't given a space. I learned really early on that people didn't want to hear about the hard parts. My feelings made people uncomfortable. So I kept myself perpetually busy. I filled every day with therapies and activities, and I was teaching and learning and doing all the things. Hi, is it Lita? Welcome. Yay, you're a new subscriber. Yay, yay, yay. I'll be doing a live later this afternoon, probably this evening, so pop on. And here's what happens when you don't acknowledge your feelings. Here's what happens, you guys. You cannot heal from what you refuse to acknowledge. So you keep going and you keep running and you keep doing more and more and you hide from the feelings. You will fall. You will stumble. You will hit your bottom. And at the bottom, which I hit, you have a choice to see joy. You have a choice to make this life everything that you want it to be. Of course, it's going to look different. Everything always looks different. But you get to. You have a choice in how you look at this. I didn't realize that. No one told me. Autism was presented to us, and maybe it's different now, but 12 years ago it was presented to us as something to overcome. It was like, you need to make this child fit into this world, right? And we devoted ourselves. We're like, okay, therapies and running and doing all this stuff, and we're going to make this work. Cooper's, no. We're going to change the world. Yeah, it might be this big of a world. It might be just right here in our house. But we're going to change it so he is comfortable and happy and treasured and respected and thriving. But when you're in this negative place, when you're running from the feelings that you're not allowed to acknowledge, you're not going to heal. I have met so many angry people. Angry people. And I think it's because those feelings were always stifled. So now, the best advice I can give you, Kenneth's daughter, is start grabbing some of those feelings. Start grabbing them. I'm really jealous that we can't do this. I'm really scared of this. I'm really worried about this. This is hard because. I'm terrified because. Grab them. I'm sad that Cooper doesn't acknowledge anything Easter. But I am so thankful that I get to sit on the front steps with him and wait for our family to come and look at airplanes and bugs and leaves and sand and dirt. I'm sad about this, but oh my gosh, you guys, Cooper wants to go on the light rail. He's asked me 15 times. We're going to go on the light rail tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen, you guys. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to go on the light rail. And he is so excited. Mom and Dad and Cooper. Once I started acknowledging all these really, really hard feelings, right? Sitting in them, making space, getting comfortable. I would spend 10 minutes thinking about life after I'm gone. I would think about who's going to care for him. Will he be safe? And I'd let those feelings wash over me. It often happens at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. or when I'm alone in the car. And I'll tell you, while it's hard to do, I feel better after. Because I stopped running from the feelings. I stopped running from the hard. I learned to make space for it. But then here's the most important part, moms, dads. When you start to acknowledge those very real feelings, let go of the guilt associated with them. I talked to the most amazing mom the other day who has sons and one daughter, and her daughter has severe autism like Cooper. And she told me for some reason, out of the blue, she is so sad that she'll never be the mother of the bride. That she will never be the grandma of her daughter's babies. And I just sat with her. And we just cried. Oh my gosh, it makes me cry right now. That hurts. Those are very, very, very real feelings. I told her, don't run from them, because they'll just make you angry. They will harden you in a way that is not healthy. And just like me, 4 years ago, you'll have to put in 3 times the amount of work to heal. I wish someone would have told me, I wish I would have had the support that I needed, and that I would have just faced them head on right away. But I work every day now. I work every day. I'm figuring this stuff out, this very real hard stuff. And there's no answers, and there's no right or wrong, and there's no one to tell you what to feel. Well, there are. Kenneth. The one thing I always say is, it's a journey you have to take alone. Ultimately, you guys, you have to do the work. You gotta strap those feelings on your back, and you gotta walk. You gotta climb the mountain. You're gonna do it alone. But no, I'm next to you walking too. There's someone out there walking the same path right next to you. Just reach your hand out. Just reach your hand out. We're here. I'm here. And that's what I'm going to do. So, my father didn't threaten to disown me when I said for a long time that I'm so sad. And I sure hope your fathers don't say that either. What an awful man. What an awful man. Oh my gosh. And now I'm done making space for him. Goodbye. Come join my supporter group. Or don't. I mean, you don't have to. My supporter group costs, $4.99 a month, and I do that so I can keep out the shamers and the scary people, the Kenneths. That's why I have a supporter group, so you have a place to share. So I have a place to share me. Come join. There's so many. Everyone that has this teal little badge is a supporter. If you are unable to join my group, join a different group. Just find a group. Find a mom. Find a group at school. Find something that you can share. Talk about this stuff. Your voice matters. Your feelings matter, and they're not wrong. That's the part that's so terrible. You can never tell someone that their feelings are wrong. You can't say, get over it. You can't say, move on. The one I was always told is, why get sad when you just have to get glad again? And I didn't feel, and I didn't heal. Come join us when we're done. Click my Facebook page and click the Become a Supporter button if you want. If not, find another group. Just find someone. My whole mission is that no mother ever feels as alone as I did. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was so alone. I would just cry. Just cry. All day. The silence was deafening. That's what I'll tell you. Silence is deafening. Thanks everyone for your sweet comments. Okay, I'm gonna go. We're gonna, I think, actually take a drive down to the marina today. We have some major flooding going on in Minnesota. So we're gonna go see. Let's check out the boats and check out all that. We were supposed to build a sandbox today, but it is so cold. It's like 20. So Harper's like, are we building a sandbox? So that's not gonna happen. I'm flying to Pittsburgh on Friday. doing a meetup on Friday night. So again, remember, if you're in Pittsburgh, come join this group and you can do a meetup with us. Please, it's the best group. Saturday, I'm presenting for Autism Caring Center. They're having a retreat. And then back on Sunday, I'm back like 8 a.m. on Sunday. We have a baseball tournament all weekend for Sawyer, so I don't know how I feel bad for Jamie. I don't know how we're going to make this all work. It's so hard to chase one's dreams while having 4 children. And I never know if I'm doing the right things, but I'm going to go fast and do that. And then next weekend, we have 250 moms coming to Minnesota from all around the U.S. Like all the states are coming, and we have a 2.5-day retreat. It's going to be amazing. Oh my gosh. And I also am like pretty excited for when it's over and I can breathe. And then what's going on after that? That gets us to May. Cooper has a lot going on right now. So Sawyer has hockey and baseball. Cooper has, what does he have right now? Art class. Yes, we did, Ryan. Sports sampler, and he starts horseback riding pretty soon. So he's a busy little bumblebee. Harvey wants to join soccer. So we'll see. We'll see about that. There's only 2 of us. Suzanne, go on my website. So Suzanne, my website is findingcoopersvoice.com. So literally www.findingcoopersvoice.com and click events. And that's how you can find out what's going on. So we have an event that's sold out in May, but we'll have another retreat in September. And that one's in Wisconsin. And just so you know, like 75% of the people flew in last year. So don't think you have to live here. Yay, Bianca, come join. You don't have to live here. People fly in, they come alone, they come with a friend, but you will leave with friends. You will leave with friends. We will make sure of that. I think last year at our retreat in September, we only had one person. We had like 120 surveys and only one person was not, I mean, everything was not perfect except for one person. And it was interesting. If I was to describe her, I would say she was in the angry space and she did not want to get out of that angry space. I flew in from Michigan last April and doing it again. Yay, Kim! But if you're watching this, and even if you hate me, if you're hate watching me, get out of that angry space. Find joy.